Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And today I want to talk to you about feminine men and how we're depicted in society. So today I'm in my art room and it's been a while since I talked to you guys. Probably 3 months. But that's because I've been just thinking and trying to come up with something new, and I couldn't really think of anything for a while. And basically, this morning I came up with an idea for a video, and I quickly reinstalled YouTube because deleted it because it was like aggravating me. And I came up with a topic about feminine men because I was I was searching up feminine men in media, and all it came up with was men that were like feminine in the face or like feminine in the body or something. It didn't actually think of, like feminine men, like wearing makeup, wearing, dresses, wearing, having long hair, earrings, whatever that is deemed feminine. But basically, my definition of femininity is it's basically these characteristics, these like clothing items, mannerisms, maybe, and it's completely separated from the genders. And it's gender expression, it's more of like a personality. And basically, feminine men come in all different shapes and sizes. Some of us are feminine with how we express ourselves. Some of us are feminine in the mannerisms or uh, our personality, I guess. Some of us are feminine in both of these things or in varying degrees of these things, which in some ways it goes from masculinity to androgyny to femininity. And this is all a spectrum. This is how people can express themselves. And basically, the only requirement to being a man is adult human male. So, those of us who produce spermatoza, have XY chromosomes, have the secondary sex characteristics from natural puberty, that type of thing. And we're adults. So, yeah. And we're human. And, yeah, so we're Homo sapiens, and we have, we're past the apes. We evolved past the apes, and yeah. So there's a lot of depictions of men being feminine back in the 80s, 90s, maybe even early 2000s, and a lot of these men are like into rock and roll and heavy metal, and a lot of them would wear makeup and stuff and have long hair and play in the bands and stuff. And this is like, that is pretty normal for men to want to express those things, but throughout society it has been stigmatized because back then in Christianity it was completely outlawed for men to cross dress, behave feminine, even date other men, which I think those are kind of ridiculous things. But the reason why is because, for one, they're sexist. For two, they're homophobic. And for three, there had always been a link between uh, straight men dressing up as women and being very sexual about it. And that's why it was kind of outlawed in a way, is because of that reason. These sexual deviant men uh, basically stereotyping femininity and thinking that makes them a woman. So that was part of the reason. And another was it was sexism because, like, oh yeah, men are supposed to be masculine. You're supposed to wear this. You're supposed to act like this. And they outlawed homosexuality because, oh yeah, a lot of these homosexuals are acting feminine. They're behaving feminine, and we don't like that. And also, they're dating other men, which is weird. And because like the population might go down, and stuff like that. So I think that's pretty unreasonable because people live their lives differently, and uh, As long as it's not hurting themselves or others, I'm fine with it. And I don't think doing a lot of that stuff is harming others, except for AGP. I think that's totally harming people because no one's asking to be part of that. But yeah, so there's been, those type of depictions of men. And to this day, there's depictions of cross-dressing men. But a lot of these cross-dressing men are straight men. They wear the breastplates and they wear the gaffs to tuck the dick away. And I think that's a little sexist, and I think that's a little even misogynistic in a way, because it's like, why do you have to do that? That's like that's woman facing there. That's complete, just sexist, I think. It's just like blackface kind of in a way. But like it's with men degrading women down to being sex objects, which isn't good. But today I'm talking about, there you go again. There I go again. I said today. About men just wanting to experiment with their style and maybe even their mannerisms sometimes. And basically, they don't want to be persecuted for that. There's a lot of sexism that comes with that because men are supposed to be strong and we're not supposed to show any weakness. And when I've brought this up to conservatives, they're like, oh no, that's bad. It's breaking the natural family for a man to want to be feminine. It's breaking the natural family for a man to want to wear feminine things. And I'm so confused about that because it's not breaking the natural family or whatever they're trying to say. They just don't, and then part of it is because they just don't like gay people. That's another thing. So, I don't like the conservative take on that stuff. I'm not conservative. I would never want to be conservative because I think it's very boxed in and regressive. But then again, I think extreme liberalism with this woke ideology is kind of taking over and having a third wave of feminism where it's like, men can women face and claim to be women if they, get surgeries and hormones and stuff, which I think, I'm all for people, doing what they want with their bodies, it might harm them, but it's whatever. It's up to them. People can smoke, people can drink, people can do whatever to themselves that can possibly be harmful. And, I wouldn't want to intervene in that. But when they start to change definitions, when they start to change words, when they start to make us have to say things, or we're going to be banned for saying them, that's when I have an issue. That's when I take an issue, and it's like, this anti-woman movement has been happening, where it's just hurting women and feminine men and boys that are just growing up. So it's like, I want to talk about these feminine, maybe boys, I don't know. Basically, a lot of us start out where, we're like 11 or 12 or something, and we start to maybe even experiment with being feminine in ways. And that's usually shunned for a lot of boys, and you feel like you're less of a boy because you like Disco Girl or whatever. I remember this Gravity Falls episode where Dipper is like trying to discover his manhood, and he learns that it's not about being hairy, it's not about being muscular, it's not about liking certain things. It's all about, just being born a man, I think, in a way. Or it's just growing up as a boy, where you feel kind of like, it's like you haven't went through puberty yet and you just kind of feel awkward, and then you're kind of feminine at the same time. And a lot of people don't like that because, I don't know. It's kind of sad that boys feel like they can't experiment with that. And, even being a little bit feminine where it's like, liking certain things or doing certain things is like bad and it's like not allowed. And I feel bad for those boys that feel that way, that are pressured in society and feel like they can't dye their hair or paint their nails or anything, or even wear like cover up foundation. I feel bad for them because it's like, someone in their life is telling them that they can't do this stuff, and it makes them feel very boxed in. And I can completely relate with these boys, and they grow up to be very boxed in men, and they feel like they can't explore their kind of clothing or their mannerisms or any of that stuff. And I just want to say that they can, and that if you want an example of a feminine man, here you go. Here you go. Here's some representation, because I want to be like some representation for maybe boys that don't have it, or maybe men that don't have it, or something, because that's better than nothing. We don't get any representation in media. We don't get any representation in song artists, really. There's not many men that are like that. And a lot of the representation, if they are feminine, it's either gay men, AGP men, or it's trans-identified men. And it's like you just don't get any variation except for those, and they're all harmful. They're all stigmatized, stereotyped, and brought down. And like, I don't know, I feel bad for those categories of men that are feminine and are brought down for it. But I would like to see a protagonist who's a feminine man who he has a varying degree of femininity, whether that be emotional, mannerisms, spiritual even. I don't even know how that works. There's so many different ways, and there's so many different human expressions that it's hard to really say how he would be feminine. But because feminine is objective, it's like not objective, it's subjective. It's a very subjective term. It's very nebulous. It's very across cultures. It's very different. But he explores that many of Western men don't. Many Western men don't explore that, and he explores that throughout the book. And he also has his own personality, his own characteristics. He's a full-fledged person who's got feelings and reacts differently in different situations, and has his own life and his own backstory and his own community that either supports him, doesn't like him, whatever. And I would like to see that depiction for little boys, or even men, young men, just to see that in themselves, and to know that they don't have to always be the strong ones. They don't have to always be this masculine force to be reckoned with. They don't have to always look masculine. Like, they don't have to buzz their hair. They don't have to, I don't know, like, not wear makeup, not do anything to take care of themselves because it's feminine. And they can see that in a book, or maybe even in a movie or something, I've just never seen any of that depictions. For my 20-something years of life, I've never seen a man be depicted in that way and be the protagonist, or not slandered for it like many men are. Even if men wear dresses, they're slandered for it. It's like comedy to some people, and it's not even funny. It's just a man wearing a dress. It's like, I don't know. It's so weird. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe to me, Lemonade Rat Devil. And just so you know, I don't care if everyone likes my content. I don't care if you agree with it. You can debate in the comments. You could say I'm an awful person for my beliefs. You can say that stuff. I don't care. It doesn't really matter too much to me. But if we discuss it in a civil way, and you can see where I'm coming from, and you can have a little bit of compassion for my story and my feelings, as I will try for you, then maybe the world will be a better place too. And I just want to bring this video out to light, and see who it reaches, and if anyone can kind of relate to me, and yeah. So thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Bye.